Ulaanbaatar is a city in transition with a population of 1.5 million, roughly 50% of Mongolia's entire population. Apartment buildings are going up everywhere to handle the influx of nomads who have come to the city. Sadly, roads, traffic, and infrastructure haven't kept up. Large crowds gather to visit the newly reopened cultural palace that was damaged during riots in 2008 that protested parliamentary elections. It is a city of contrast between old and new. Gandan Monastery dates to the 19th century. The monastery is the biggest in Mongolia and served as the center of the Buddhism in Mongolia.
That's the statue they're going to build. They're going to build the complex.
Here we are treated to a depiction of traditional Mongol nomadic life. Later on, we will be able to contrast this with contemporary nomads. The traditional Mongolian gear. We are served tea and refreshments by our host.
Rosemary. Rosary. Rosary. The next generation. So there will be several of them in one.
Including ceremonial snuff.
It was like a little bit cold here this last winter. Like back in the day, he didn't close that. They have. They actually, if you ask him, that families, and he will say the name of the men and with the father's name.
It's time for a ride on a yak.
Get on the yacht now.
Not with this coat on. It's not gonna I'm not in the saddle.
There's just one at a time, dear. What? The X is just one person at a time.
And now it's time to milk the goats.
It doesn't look like there's much good. Yes, there's Sweetie Star.
A device for stretching leather to incorporate it into lariats and ropes.
Makes the leather supple, is that what it does?
Yeah, to make it flexible to braid like this and stuff.
Moving their camp by ox cart.
Okay, you guys, before we go, you feed.
We arrive at our first gear camp and settle in quite comfortably. Khan Mountain is at the geographical center of the country of Mongolia. If you ever wondered how a gear is taken apart for transport and then reassembled at its new location, we'll have a look.
Normally they choose the bottom of the hill or mountain, more sheltered place they need, and they build up the.
Hello.
How are you?
She always complicated with the fingers, you know. She says 3, but they sort of.
There's more.
11. So 1, 3, 11, 14, 15. She's the oldest.
When does school start?
Oi! But actually, they make the belt. They don't. They can make that themselves.
Oh my goodness.
This is the mare's milk.
Yeah, that's the mare's milk.
After we sample the fermented mare's milk, we help with the preparation of our lunch. By the way, it tastes a lot like buttermilk. A flour dough is rolled out and stuffed with ground meat and sealed to make stuffed dumplings.
So after the pieces, you have to make it with the edge and make it fat and fat on each, and then you have to.
What is the meat?
They gave princesses to each other, so blood mixing.
The important thing is
The dumplings are steamed on the wood-burning stove and are enjoyed by all.
Actually wind up paying.
Suckers, you're supposed
Right
to
in
take
there.
salad later. You still
Before we leave, we thank our hostess with gifts. And bid farewell to this friendly nomad family. The monastery Afghan Kahid was built by a famous religious figure of medieval Mongolia, Zanabazar. In its thriving years, the monastery was hosting over 1,000 lamas at a time. In the 18th century, it was destroyed by a rival religious leader. The preservation and restoration of this religious site is the lifelong work of a single Buddhist nun. On our way, we stopped for a visit with a lonely herder and shared our water with him. Founded in 1586, Erdene was the first Buddhist monastery in Mongolia. It had between 60 and 100 temples, about 300 gears inside the walls, and at its peak up to 1,000 monks in residence. The monastery went through periods of neglect and prosperity until finally the Stalinist purges of 1937 put it completely out of business. All but 3 of the temples in Erdene Zoo were destroyed, and an unknown number of monks were either killed or shipped off to Siberia and never heard from again.
Wow.
I know what you
This is
doing.
different.
That's 20 meters.
Our
She's got a long
contract, we
step.
have a big thing.
Oh, we don't have a target then. We hit for this little bathroom.
MG shows us the ancient Mongolian art of archery. It's obvious that none of us would qualify for Genghis Khan's army,
Aim up.
but what the heck, we had fun.
And then look. The best.
It's high.
Wow.
Oh,
That's more, I think.
Yep.
Oh.
I think it should stand sideways.
Yeah, a little bit sideways it will be.
Stand sideways.
Bring against your cheek, like this.
Yeah, and then you'll get the arm. Yeah. I think it's hard. I think it's a hard pull.
What am I doing wrong? Yeah, like when you.
No, you want it straight. You want the arrow straight.
I don't want to do this.
This
More snake. Oh, girl.
Whoa!
I thought it was pulled back, you dip.
Right. Pull back.
Dip.
Oh!
These arrows aren't straight, you know.
Yeah, I know.
Finally, I don't hear a lot of laughter.
We are so on your side.
Yes.
Because we're afraid where you're laying is what basically what it is.
I do better with a shotgun.
It's too high.
Yeah, I can't pull it back. Yeah.
This sacred memorial complex was dedicated to Bilge Khan of the Turkic Empire, which flourished during the 6th to 8th centuries. The Turkic people migrated westward and are the ancestors of modern-day Turks. The government of Turkey provided major funding for the museum and the road to get there. The drive north from Maron was through beautiful country, but marred by having to drive most of the way cross country on primitive trails next to a brand new highway under construction. Horses have been an important part of Mongol life for hundreds of years. The Mongol hordes of Kublai Khan swept through to Eastern Europe on horseback. The Mongol horse is smaller in stature than horses elsewhere in the world, but they are sturdy.
You got a different gait.
Welcome. We should thank you for bringing you all home safe, sort of.
Our horse wranglers decide to put on a little rodeo show, attempting to rope horses. Traditionally, this is done with a loop on the end of a long pole, but lacking that, they resort to throwing a lariat cowboy style. Hopefully they do better with the loop and pole technique than they do with the lariat.
I tried lassoing some stick horse. Yeah, right.
The little spotted horse got tired of this rodeo game and kept running over to join the other horses and tried to hide by blending in. Our cowboys raced to the finish amid cheers and shouts.
The others are there just for fun. It's the first bunch.
Always the last one.
Ja, alles lekker. Nee, ja.
Ja, kom maar.
boat across the lake to visit a reindeer farm that usually has a Satan family herding and caring for the reindeer. The Satans are an ethnic group that is largely separated from Mongol society and are known as reindeer herders. However, when we got there, all we found was an empty yurt tent and a few lonely reindeer. It seems that the family had moved on to their winter quarters. Oh well, at least the deer were happy to see us.
Why did you do that?
He didn't like you much.
You guys had all wandered up into the woods and I was perched on my stomach. You probably have a better shot than mine. Well, I have my own. Okay, Mama.
This family's herd consists of yaks, Mongol cattle, and crossbreeds of the two. Milk and meat are the main products from the herd.
Baby still wants to go with the mother.
Yes, that's why it's hard job. They breed them to milk. For milk.
Angie, why would she milk, let the calf nurse, and then milk again?
More milk? In the trough is more milk? Because they're all...
Pretty butt that guy.
The family stays here only summer, and they go to...
We visit the family's home, a log cabin that the father had built from logs that he had pre-cut and assembled on site. The Mongolian people are gracious and hospitable. We were served tea with yak milk and other treats.
Okay, so the booms all goes down.
The daughter showed us how they make butter and yogurt from their yak and cow's milk.
like this.
First, the milk is strained into a large vessel.
And the kids that eat the curd when it's hard, it's good exercise. Here, starting.
The milk is heated to just below boiling.
The monks have to, but not. She doesn't have to go to all the way to UB.
Guns, anything like this, or arrest them?
And is poured from a height into a smaller pan, making sure that the milk foams up as it is poured.
Weaving places, that's not handmade, right? This is really technical. Underneath the pan.
Yung boksaga grossly yanzıgın tırığa işte.
The foam milk is heated again on top of the stove, and as the foam settles, the butter floats as a layer on top of the yogurt below. Both are then ready to eat.
I mean, I've been involved in making butter, but I don't quite understand this method, you know.
It's for them. It's for them.
We bid farewell to our host family with gifts.
Do they know what a golden bullet for that foundation?
Yes.
Oh, you could drive a truck for it.
As a special treat, we were permitted to visit a local school. We were welcomed into the class and soon made friends with them. It was a rewarding experience.
So roughly over 50 children there they live in the dormitory.
What did it say?
Yes, citizenship. Yes. Yes. Thank you.
While the girls all wore the same uniform dress, the ribbons and bows on their heads gave them a unique identity.
Do they know where we are from?
Developed their mind, their intelligence, like kind of they're just made it with the cartoon.
Science.
Yvonne.
Very good.
Marsha.
Grady.
Ginny.
You do it once.
What did you eat last summer? Yes.
In the middle school, we sat in on an English class.
A horse last summer, good.
Next time I want to see.
Good.
United States, we live in California. Oh yeah. You learned German.
university and you.
No, I love English myself.
What is your name? We're in a view. No, you're supposed to say that again. English, and then you will learn. You work.
Teach English to the kids.
Yes. Now it's received grade and 11th grade studying English. Fifth grade students now 11 and 12 years old.
Mom, I write. That's too hard. Okay. Line.
You tell them about something that happened there. You see this? First airplane.
Is that hard for them?
Yeah.
I would see what it would be.
We end our stay at the lake with a delightful bonfire and wine on the lake shore. We see the moon rise over the mountains on the far shore while the camp staff serenades us. The government has provided strategically placed wells so that nomad herders can bring their flocks to drink. Mongolian goats produce the finest cashmere wool.
I wonder how you get in the water with these pushy goats here. Maybe he brings the sheep up first. See, they're all laying down in the sun. Real pretty light one. It comes a bit like that.
When will they come back to him?
They water them every day, but sometimes they can stay off, like one day or two. They can like maybe.
herd caretaker, eh?
The Bactrian, or two-humped camel, is indigenous to the Gobi Desert. While there may be herds of wild camels, most have been domesticated. We approach the Altai mountain range through beautiful open country, over the usual primitive roads. We head for Vulture Valley, a protected site. But on the way, our bus needs to be lightened so that it can negotiate the steep roadway. After a refreshing alfresco lunch, we descend into a remarkable gorge. The Gobi Desert is not all sand dunes. In fact, the Montsaurel's dunes are a bit of a rarity. Blowing sand is caught in an eddy created by a nearby range of mountains and piles up as localized dunes.
I could roll.
How do you spell his name?
Is the other cheese?
O.
With the hospitality customary of the nomads, we are offered snacks and sample various foods made from camel milk.
Camel milk, or it's different taste. It's good.
That's what I'm talking about.
It is soft. I want one more taste.
It's so hard finding camel milk at home. You don't know whether you go to dairy or to...
this.
I can't do that kind of sour. That is very.
Sorry, little echo here.
Double their charge.
What?
I said, that's great. I
Here,
can't
give it to
remember
me.
this.
She has two. One is
Our
on the
hostess and her family tell us, through MG's translation, about their lifestyle that isn't as isolated as you might think, considering their remote location. We saw the camels being herded on a motorcycle. Cell phones are everywhere, and the mother of the family receives prenatal care and will deliver her baby in a hospital kilometers away.
You would have never lied about that.
There's not certain amount of the herd they prefer.
What do you think?
Everybody.
She brings out her handicrafts for us to see and buy.
I got two.
You know how they hobble horses? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so they don't wander at night?
Yeah, that's what I just said.
What is that?
It's a game.
Oh, it's a game.
It's a game.
Remember the horses?
Oh, look at he won. That's it, huh?
He doesn't like that kind of stuff. You go first so I can take a picture of you.
Wait, I don't have a camera.
So, одоо ер нь өдөр хий цаажаа.
You too, and I'm giving you Laura. Saying I'm too heavy. You too. And Jenny coming down this way, just like these guys are going. Just sitting up there.
But I have to get Lola.
Exactly. One is white and one is dark. Blonde.
There's a camel named Camellia, and Uncle gonna bring her one big drink, and he's a 7-day swinger. Oh yeah. Talking about Humphrey the camel.
A gorgeous sunrise on the Gobi Desert starts our day. Roy Chapman Andrews was an explorer and scientist who led expeditions into the Gobi Desert in 1925. It was in this area that he called the Flaming Cliffs that he made a pivotal discovery. He brought back dinosaur eggs, the first that had ever been discovered. Andrews later became the director of the American Museum of Natural History.
Color of yellow had Buddhism. Then the red one, of course, fire. So yellow also is the sun. Red is fire, and green one, earth. Oh, no, water. Water.
The Datsan Monastery is the most important Buddhist monastery in Russia. It is also home to a phenomenon that continues to intrigue scientists and attract believers by the thousands, the preserved body of the Kambo Lama, who died in 1927 and is still sitting upright in the lotus position. People leave broken and damaged objects for the llamas to dispose of properly. A partially eaten piece of bread was just too much temptation for this dog.
So he ordered his pupils, his students.
We see whether a force will guide us, with our eyes closed, to an object on the wall.
Are you peeking?
No.
No, it's a long way without seeing.
Yay! Very good.
After this mystery grade of physics, the main temple in Russia. You see these two tigers? So now it's open only while vacations. And sometimes these tigers are the protectors. The protectors of the believers.
The Ethnographic Museum of the Peoples of Transbaikal is one of Russia's largest open-air museums. The museum contains historical finds from the era of Huns until the mid-20th century, including a unique collection of samples of wooden architecture of Siberia, more than 40 architectural monuments. The Old Believers separated from the official Russian Orthodox Church as a protest against church reforms in the 17th century. After 1685, a period of persecutions began, including both torture and executions. Many Old Believers fled Russia altogether. Finally, in 1974, the Russian Orthodox Church revoked the anathemas and asked forgiveness from the Old Believers for the wrongs done them.
She's not used to this. That's why she speaks so fast, and sometimes it's hard to translate. And sometimes stop her, you will see. So she says, "Good afternoon, dear guests. Добрый день," as you know. Yes, you are quite knowledgeable now. So she is really happy to welcome you near the house of her father. You see, and her father is one of the most famous folk singers and folk composers.
Меня зовут Ольга.
So her name is Olga. Olga.
Я дочь Александра Ивановича, это мама, это папа.
So now you see the portraits of her parents. So this is the mother and her father, Alexander.
Александр Иванович знаменитый тем, что он был фольклористом много лет, работал с молодежью. Это все его ученики.
So Alexander, his father, is famous by the fact that he was one of the most popular folk singers and composers in Buryatia. And so you see the pictures of his pupils.
Что отца посадили, многие спрашивают, но я сразу и скажу. Отца посадили за то, что правление колхоза, в котором он состоял, 12 человек было, накормили коня, чтоб конь пахал весной, и чтоб пахарь за ним ходил. Выделили немножко зерна и овса, покормить, чтобы люди работали. Но это было против сверху, которая...
She goes. Yes. So you might be really interested in the reason why her father was put into the prison. So the reason was as the following. Her father was one of the heads of the collective farm, and he ordered to give some oatmeal and wheat to the horse, to the collective farm horse, for it to work and to cultivate the soil. Yes, and also they gave some food to the person who works, to the worker. So for that they were persecuted, because all the food, all this stuff in the collective farm was regulated. All the things were regulated from the central, yeah.
No.
And she was given. So she was given 25 years. 25 years of prison.
Ага. Но после это из Иркутска. А тут никто не пускал, потому что боялись, и если она пустит, ее накажут.
So she says, to cut a long story short. Yes. So the following story of her family is like that. As the family was persecuted, and now her mother was left alone, and actually she had to work to continue to work, because at that time there was a law persecuting people who didn't work. Yes, if you do not work, you were supposed to be a lazy person, so you may get to the prison. Yes, you may be put.
Туда, ну туда давай.
Looks good, huh?
And when I render it, I put
Put a soul down
apple.
it.
I put apple.
Put a soul down it.
That's what I was trying to do.
Under the Sacred Heart.
По жизни и складывались тут.
So I told you some stories about our professional singers, and of course, as the life was difficult, so the songs were mostly sad. So she says.
Ну, наше пение необыкновенное. Старики, конечно, передавали нам из уст уста.
So the tradition to sing was passed only orally, like it's never written. It was never.
Yeah.
Нам нужен жених и невеста.
Ну вот, ее выбирайте просто.
Невеста есть, жених.
А невеста?
Невеста готова, я думаю. Все хорошо. Где жених?
Где жених? Команд жених.
Пошли.
Команд, пошли.
Это будут фотокарточки хорошие. Давай, пошли. Ты пойдешь сюда, вон к тому парню. Нет, невеста с нами.
Oh, невеста here.
Все это шилось только...
Okay. So Evie has just finished sewing her sarafans. She is 16.
Sixteen's the new 61.
To show off the best part, eh?
А это что? Это из какой ткани ты обычно делаешь?
Шелк, шерсть, да, дорогое делается для...
So usually the fabrics that were used for the costume were silk, cashmere.
Кашемир, да.
Oh, the cousin is giving up her amber.
Жених не узнает.
So now the groom won't.
Девочки нарекают невесте семью, детей.
So these ribbons are used to predict how many children she will have. So let's count.
That's a done deal.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
I'm sorry, you shouldn't be
To show how my son is tall and handsome and smart.
Thank you.
Какая красавица!
And you see our daughter, so beautiful.
Все умеет делать.
She can do everything at
И
house.
шьет, и вяжет, и стряпает, и дует, и все умеет делать.
She can do everything at home. She can milk the cows. She can sew the clothes. She can knit.
Вот нам такая и нужна.
So we need such a
А мы
girl.
лишимся этой девки. Так а в доме девка всегда чужой товар.
Four of us shared a comfortable compartment for the 8-hour ride from Ulan-Ude to Irkutsk and watched the countryside roll by.
Take a right about there. Yeah, because the river's on our right.
I'm not too sure I'd want to go right here. I bet it's all right.
you climbing the tree?
To celebrate our visit to Lake Baikal, we offer a prayer flag in the Buddhist tradition and drink a toast in the Russian tradition.
Burat and Irkutsk taiga forest. So it's like a it's not vodka, it's not a liquor, it's balsam. So usually we drink it before the food, before we take a meal, like it's an appetizer and gives you good digestion.
Yeah, well, make a start on a video.
So the length of Alphon Island is 70
The unique exhibits tell about the origin and history of the lake, its flora and fauna, geologic structure, climate, and tectonics. On exhibit are stuffed birds and animals and a collection of minerals.
Actually, these freshwater seals, the maximum height of freshwater seals is 1 meter and 65 centimeters. Model of the relief Lake Baikal, and it was made by hand by one of the explorers.
The exhibition shows in detail the life of fish that live in the lake, as well as the Baikal seal. The aquariums have a unique system of water supply and water cycle, which takes water from a depth of 500 meters. The conditions of living are arranged so as to be similar to those in the natural lake.
Yeah, so you may touch it. It's cold here, and it's warm there.
There's an arboretum next to the museum where trees and plants are being cultivated in open-air soil. The arboretum occupies a territory of 4 hectares, along with a spring, forest, and picturesque slope of the Lake Baikal shore. Still in bloom are hardy North Country flowers. Russian pioneers first came to Listvianka on the shore of Lake Baikal in the middle of the 17th century. The church was built in the 19th century by a Russian merchant who, it is said, was saved by St. Nicholas while crossing the lake during a terrible storm. Lake Baikal is the oldest and deepest freshwater lake in the world. It also holds the largest volume of water, with over 1/5 of the world's liquid surface freshwater and more than 90% of Russia's surface freshwater. It is a World Heritage Site.
Не сказала, нет? Ага. Меня зовут Олег Тюрюмин.
So his name is Oleg Tyurymin.
Я купили 12 собак.
The kennel owner races in local sled dog competitions in the winter and has a goal of circling Lake Baikal with his dog team.
Он шел, от меня ничего не зависело.
So while participating, imagine that so only owing to these dogs, to this leader, Oleg could find.
Его обгоняют.
So he's
Зимой, если жесткий снег, мы одеваем тапочки. Да,
Yes, yes, yes.
Ну потом, если это как
Conditions, some real nice opportunity to train the dog slower.
Но они выносливые, они ходят по экспедиции или гонка. Хобби занимается. Чем ты занимаешься?
Конструкцией.
Смотри, даже уже выучили за место тебя.
We witnessed the young blacksmith making chainmail to recreate medieval armor, and we get to try on a sample of
Bend
it.
your knees to brace yourself for the weight.
Okay, don't breathe.
I told you boobs won't fit.
No.
Turn around.
Oh, you look so
Turn
stylish.
around, Boop. All right.
Wow.
There you go, Grady.
There you go. Bring it on.
There you go.
We are under the helmet.
Okay, I will.
She's ticklish.
Okay.
Or just when you want
I'm
video.
holding you.
Скажи, чтобы она вниз опустила руки.
Okay, just straight.
О, туда.
Yes, to be easier.
Где у нее там грудь?
Where are you?
The Architectural Ethnographic Museum is a picturesque open-air museum of old-time Siberian wooden architecture. In the middle of the 20th century, with the construction of hydroelectric power stations on the nearby Angara River, land was flooded. The most interesting and valuable houses built by the Cossacks and local ethnic groups in the 17th to 20th centuries that could have been inevitably destroyed were moved and preserved. We see two examples of local wedding customs. Engraved padlocks fastened to a bridge with the keys thrown away, and the newlyweds visiting a public memorial. We climb the steep stairs and ladders to reach the bell tower, where we observe the master bell ringer as he makes the bells ring out in a cacophony of sound.